Hello again. I've really been enjoying doing these like themed vlogs, so I thought I would start another one now. And this one is going to center around, I'm going to be trying to get to as many books as possible for read-alongs and book clubs happening in January. So I'm not sure yet what all I'm going to get to, but I know for sure that I'm going to be starting with A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole. And this is for the Immortals After Dark read-along. I decided to do this even though this book is out of my comfort zone. It is a paranormal romance, which I'm just not a huge fan of paranormal, but I'm going to give this a try because Izzy from Happy For Now is hosting this read-along and I love her channel and I wanted to support if I could. So I'm going to give this first book a try and see if I enjoy it. Well, I will pop in with updates once I get a feel for the book. I had good intentions of updating last night. Like, I got in bed with my Kindle and I read for a long time. I set my camera on the nightstand, and then when I went to like film my update before bed, my camera had no battery and no memory card in it, and I was too lazy to get up and get it. So here we are now. I am about 100 pages into A Hunger Like No Other, and I'm actually really liking it. I do want to say, like, big content warning for like consent. It is a vampire werewolf romance, and it's a very like primal attraction, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Chris and I are gonna go out of town today. I'm gonna go to a Half Price Books and try to sell my books. If you've been here a while, you know last time I went, I was like 30 minutes late for the like buying books window. So I'm hoping that they're taking books today, but either way, I will probably be buying some things. We are on our way now, but I am gonna start something new. I don't want to. I am enjoying A Hunger Like No Other, but I know that on our way back, it's gonna be dark out, so it'll be easier to read on my Kindle when it's dark out. So I'm actually now on the way there gonna start Night Song by Beverly Jenkins, which this is the pick for the Historical Hellions book club. And this will be my first Beverly Jenkins, but I've had an eye on her stuff for a while now. I actually started Destiny's Embrace a couple months ago, and then something else came up, so I didn't technically DNF it. I read like 5 pages and just decided to read something else. But I'm excited to get into this one, and we'll be in the car for like 2 hours. We stopped for lunch and had Five Guys, and now we're like only 10 minutes away from the bookstore. And I'm not reading now because I do have a tendency to get car sick, so after eating, taking a break. But I did read like 60 pages and it's really good so far. So I misbehaved. I spent 100 bucks at Half Price Books, so I definitely will have to show you what I got later. But now Chris still says I can go to Barnes & Noble, and we're gonna go to like a Shields because I need just like sweatpants. So yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about it?
I don't.
Huck's running around being loud because we literally just got home. But I wanted to quickly, before I change and look like a bum for the rest of the night, show you guys everything I bought today. I did also buy books at Barnes & Noble. So quickly, I'm just going to go through these bags. I bought way more than I should have. I'm taking out, Chris got 2 books. So since I actually had my eye out for them for the first time ever, because I'm reading A Hunger Like No Other right now, I actually found 3 of the books in the Immortals After Dark series. And I think I got the 6th, the 9th, and the 10th, but couldn't tell you. I got Kiss of a Demon King, Demon from the Dark, and Dreams of a Dark Warrior. So I found 3 of those, all for, they were $3.99 a piece, and I got 1 in the clearance, so it was $1. Then I got Blue by Danielle Steele. I read 1 Danielle Steele and hated it, and I wanted to give her one more try, so I've kind of been looking what I'd be interested in, and this was one of them, so I picked that up. I got The Hate You Give. I got One Good Deed by David Baldassi. He Started It by Samantha Downing. And that's 1 bag. I have 2 bags from there. I got A Good Marriage, Girl Gone Viral, A Man Called Ove, Well Met, and lastly from Half Price Books I got And Never Let Her Go by Anne Rule. So those were all the discounted books I found today, but I did get a pretty good haul from Barnes & Noble too. I got The Rogue Not Taken by Sarah McLean and The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. And Every Other Weekend by Abigail Johnson. So that's all the books I bought today. A ridiculous amount. I just want to say I rarely get to go to the bookstore, so this is definitely like a splurge for me. I probably go to the bookstore like 4 or less times a year, so what can I say? I couldn't contain myself. But yes, for the rest of the night I have reading plans. Like I said, today got away from me. I wanted to get way more reading in than I did, but now I just have to roll with what I have left in the day. It is only like 6:30 p.m. even though it's pitch black outside. This is the angle we're working with because I don't have pants on, so I have to keep this framed. But I am tonight just like lazily trying to finish A Hunger Like No Other by Kresley Cole. And I hesitate to recommend it because it is like there's a certain niche type of person who's gonna enjoy this, and I also think there's certain people who would really hate this, but I'm liking it decently enough. It's very smutty, and I would just like to say that I am like not a paranormal fan, or I thought I wasn't a paranormal fan, but I haven't really read any. Like, I'm not a Twilight girl. I've never read them. I've never had any interest in them. The only really paranormal things I can think that I've read are the Beautiful Creatures series by Kami Garcia, which is obviously a YA, and a couple Holly Black books that were paranormal. And I've always kind of thought that it wasn't for me, but I'm actually enjoying that part of this story, so I don't know, maybe having a little bit of an identity crisis, but we'll see how I think of it by the end. I'm having a day today. If my eyes look puffy, I basically got something stuck in my left eye today that took me like hours to get out, so my eyes have just been watering all day, and now I feel like stuffy, and I think it's just from that. But I was so close to the end of A Hunger Like No Other that I was like, my eyes hurt, everything hurts to look at, but I just wanted to finish it because tomorrow Read Your Book Shelf-a-thon starts, so I'm gonna pause this vlog and come back to it after that. So I wanted to finish A Hunger Like No Other at least, and I did, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. I think like when you get to the point, because it is like an enemies to lovers type situation, it starts with her really not wanting him, it's a mates situation, and at some point obviously it's a romance, like her mind changes, and I think at that turning point after that, the story lost me for a little bit, but then it pulled back through at the end. So yeah, overall it was an enjoyable like first installment in a series, and I think this is definitely has the opportunity to get better with the next one. If it gets worse, I will stop, but I am thinking that it's going to continue in an upward direction and that I will enjoy the next ones more. I'm not sure if it's a continuation of like the same people or if we're getting different romances, but yeah, we'll see. For now, I'm going to rest my eye. Hopefully when you see me in a week, I'll be looking much better and feeling much better than I am today. Do you want to be in this with mommy? Yeah. Okay. I am back, and I did just edit this vlog up to where I was so far, and I had forgot about my eye. It is feeling much better, and I have continued with Night Song by Beverly Jenkins, and I'm about halfway now, and I am still really enjoying it. It is like a military romance. Our hero is in the military, so he's saying that he isn't cut out for marriage, but him and our heroine obviously have a connection. And yeah, so it's like they only have so much time to be together while he's in this town. a lot has transpired already that I feel like I'm in spoiler territory, but there's a lot of the book left, so I'm curious where it's all gonna go. Like, we got pretty far in the romance pretty early on, but yeah, I think I'm gonna cuddle my dog and then try to read a little bit more tonight. And then tomorrow I'm planning on starting The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, which is for Gabby's book club, the book troupe. And I just realized today when I went to look it up on Goodreads who the author is, and I read her book probably, I don't even know what year it was, but I read Rebel Belle by her, which is like a YA book. And I gave that 4 stars when I read it. I don't think it's something I would enjoy now, but I didn't even realize it was the same person. So I did just finish Night Song by Beverly Jenkins, and I ended up giving this 3 stars. And I do feel like there's a lot to talk about with this book, so I'm glad that it's a book club book and I'm gonna get the chance to like see a lot of people's thoughts on things that happened here. I do just want to say there is a content warning definitely for lynching and also miscarriage. So I think in my last update I said that the couple was already basically like everything had happened and there was a lot of the book left, and the whole second half of the book did kind of have an entirely different plot. There is like a villain in this book and it starts being kind of more, not really a mystery, but they are trying to hunt this guy down, get a hold of him, and it becomes almost more of like a battle. But yeah, I thought the romance was really good. I think it was a little bit too long, but for a first book, Beverly Jenkins published this in 1994 and she's still publishing books. I think she has a book coming out in 2021. So I'm very interested in probably next going and picking up something more recent by her to see like how far her writing has come since this. But again, I think this was a very good book, especially for a debut and for the time that it came out. It is kind of very history heavy, and one of the first historical romances I've read that's actually set in the United States. A lot of historical romances that I've read especially are set in the UK, so I just think the history in this even was a little more interesting to me. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. I wouldn't recommend that as a place to start for historical romance, but if you're already into the genre, I would recommend picking it up and giving it a try. But now I am starting The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. I read just the first, I think I'm on page 30. And I don't like to read the synopses of thrillers going into them. I think sometimes that can lean to being spoiled to some of the thrilling aspects. Like, I don't know what is thrilling about this yet, but we're following a girl who is a dog walker in a wealthy neighborhood. She's also kind of like a kleptomaniac. She's stealing some things from these people, and there is a specific guy in the neighborhood that she seems to have her sights set on, and he just got a new dog. So that's all I know right now, but this is a fairly short book. It's only like 290 pages. So fingers crossed I'll either finish this tonight or in the morning, and then I'll be able to wrap up this whole vlog and I will be ready for all of these book talk, book club discussions, because we are nearing the end of the month and I think some of them are this weekend. I think especially Night Song, I know that book club discussion is this weekend. So off I go to continue this. I am really liking the writing style and I think this is going to be something I enjoy. I did see Gabby, who is the host of the book club, gave this like a 4.5 stars, which makes me even more excited. You see, I was just bamboozled by this book on page like 54, and that is exactly why I don't read synopsises, because I definitely feel like what just happened is probably in the synopsis of this book, but I read one line and was just like, what? And now I like have to know. I have to know what's going on. So when I'm done with this book, I'm gonna read the synopsis and see if this thing is in the synopsis, and if it is, you absolutely need to not read the synopsis of this book. But yeah, it's going well. Good morning. It is 8 a.m. I have about 100 pages left of The Wife Upstairs. I'm just sitting in the living room reading this morning. It's great. I've been putting like the ambiance rooms on the TV. I can probably actually show you. So yeah, on the TV I just have like that going. I paused it, but I've had the sound on that and I'm just kind of relaxing finishing this. And yeah, the momentum has stayed good. I'm still really enjoying this and I just hope the end follows through. I did just finish The Wife Upstairs and I'm giving it 4 stars. I do think the ending was kind of anticlimactic, but the whole book had me like wanting to know what happened. So it was like the whole book was good and then the ending is kind of what let me down. So I think it's still worth a read. Like the whole reading experience was really good. And then I did go back and read the synopsis on the book, and the thing that happened that I was like, I feel like this is something that might be in the synopsis, it wasn't. So if you want to read the synopsis of this, I do think it's safe, but maybe still just don't. I'm popping back on actually, so hopefully there wasn't a weird cut in editing, but I forgot I wanted to mention that this is supposed to be a twist on Jane Eyre, but I am in no way familiar with that story, so I feel like I can't really comment on it, but if that's something that interests you too, there's that. But now I am completely ready for all the book clubs that I wanted to participate in January. So if you want to participate in these, I think one of these live shows is before this video will go up. I think Night Song's live show is actually today, Saturday, is it the 23rd? I think it's tonight. But the live show for The Wife Upstairs is next weekend. I think it's the 29th. The discussion for A Hunger Like No Other, which will actually end up being a discussion for the first 3 books, which I do plan on getting to all 3, but that discussion isn't actually until February 5th, I think. So if you're interested in jumping in on either of those 2, you do have a little bit of time still. And I will go ahead and link down below like any information you might need to get to any of these book clubs if you want to join in the future or join for these ones. But yes, I'm happy I got to all of these. I love to participate in as many things as possible. So yeah, thanks for watching this one and I will see you very soon. Bye.